On today's show, we have owner and founder of Bundle and Bliss and the Babysitter Collective, Lucy Blair. She's got 5 children, married 12 years, and she gets into everything you need to know about what it's like to be a postpartum doula, how she started her businesses, why she started her businesses, and some of her top tips for parenting, relationships for new moms. So we hope you enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It. I'm Dr. Randy here with Dr. Tom, and we have a great show with Lucy Blair, who's the owner and founder of Bundle and Bliss and owner and founder of the Babysitter Collective. And you have 5 kids of your own, you told me.
Yep.
And you seem perfectly suited to be in this line of work. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So tell us which one started first and how it happened.
Yeah. So Bundle and Bliss was my first business. It is about 4 years old. And I started that. I had had 3 kids already, pretty far from family. We were discussing before the show started what it's like to have kids and not have any family around. So really kind of struggled through becoming a mom and feeling very far away from a support system. When I started Bundle and Bliss, my kids were all in school finally. So it was sort of like I'd been home. I'd been a stay-at-home mom for a few years and sort of felt like I was drowning in little kids and motherhood constantly. And the youngest one of them went to school, and I came up for air and was ready to feel creative and productive and go and do something. And so started Bundle and Bliss at the end of 2021. Became a postpartum doula. That was how Bundle and Bliss started, was I got trained to become a postpartum doula. And then it was just me. I mean, I made up the business name, but it was just me doing the thing. So people would hire me to come to their home after they had a baby and take care of mom. I mean, postpartum doulas mother the mother. So nurturing mom as she nurtures her baby, prepping meals, teaching newborn care, helping her recover. And it was great. And I would fill my days while my kids were at school. I would go and take care of new moms as they heal and rest and get to hold babies. And that's kind of how that began. Then I got pregnant again and was faced with the decision of either figure out some way to expand this from being just me, or everything kind of has to grind to a halt for a few months while I'm postpartum myself and not able to do this. So I started looking for people to join my team and for us to grow, which was a pretty intimidating process, but has gone really well. And now there are 7 of us with Bundle and Bliss now, and I'm able to kind of be more behind the scenes, sort of managing operations. I'm less in the field these days, but got a ton of people in the field on my behalf there.
Tom gets that.
Love.
Yeah. And then the Babysitter Collective is just about 1 year old, which came about really because so many of our Bundle and Bliss families were asking me for referrals for childcare as they sort of started to age out of our care. With Bundle and Bliss, we primarily serve families in the first 3 months after birth. And as our contracts would finish up and we're kind of wrapping up our time with them, lots of those families would ask, do you have any nanny recommendations? Or we're on all these preschool waiting lists, or do you have any babysitters? And for the longest time, I would just sort of be like, man, I wish, right? I mean, it's hard out there to find good childcare.
Good luck.
And then it's like, okay, if this is happening over and over and over, and they're all coming to me, like I've already got this credibility with them, and they trust me. And finally, it was just this light bulb moment of like, I should figure that out. So I had some connections on the college campus. I was actually advising for my sorority at the time. So there's hundreds of young women right there that are kind of cream of the crop in terms of driven and responsible and trustworthy, and just kind of started putting 2 and 2 together, and that's how that was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
What sorority?
80 Pi.
Nice. That's a big one here.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about sororities.
Well, that's Alex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Woodruff.
Mm-hmm.
Woodruff.
Woodleaf. Very close though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We know, and oddly enough, we know a pledge, or not a pledge. Now she's a new sister. Jim's daughter.
Oh,
Bella.
Bella.
Good for Bella.
She might become a babysitter at some point.
That'd be great.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4health.com.
All right, so 5 kids. I want to first hit that. How does that happen?
Do you not know how that happens?
Yeah, what's the process?
I would like to know somewhat, not like the
details.
First of all, do you think there's
You have children.
do you think that there's any correlation between position or depth and the gender of the child?
Do I think there is?
Because there's science.
No, I'll say no.
I agree with
I
you.
would say it has more to do with date on the calendar, probably,
Yep.
is what I've heard.
Yeah, the Chinese calendar.
The Mayans, you know.
And how many out of 5? How many were planned? We're gonna do it right now. And here, let's.
Well, they were all planned, but the first one came sooner than we expected.
Yeah.
We had always planned to have kids, but we were a little surprised with the timing of number 1. And then we always knew we wanted lots of kids. So once number 1 happened, we were like, well, we're going now. This is
going.
it. Yeah, we wanted them kind of close together. But after 3, those first 3 are less than 2 years apart each. So it was like 3 in less than 4 years. And I was like, I'm gonna need a pause, just a little break for my sanity. So we took a little break, and then we actually tried pursuing adoption for about 1.5 years. It just was something we'd always been interested in, been open to. When we felt ready to have another kid at that point, we were like, well, if we don't try this and give it the full go now, we may never. So let's put everything into it, and we did. And that was about 1.5 year process. We actually were, anyways, it became a failed adoption, as I guess what it's called. Yeah. We had a birth mom choose us and then, change her mind and decide to parent the baby, which is a wonderful thing, which we're really grateful that she chose that. And then we were like, well, all right, let's just keep moving on. Baby number 4 came. And then baby number 4 was like 5 years younger than baby number 3. And we were like, we don't want her to be all alone.
Oh, wow.
So she needs a buddy there at the end of the family. So we've got our big 3 and our little 2 now.
Nice.
And yeah.
Done now? Like done?
Done now.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 is a nice good number to stop at.
Nice odd number.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a whole hand,
All right, so during this, you love kids. Clearly or no?
Yeah.
Little hesitation.
I love my kids. Okay. Yes, but the funny thing is I don't really identify as the person that's like always really loved kids. Like really? I know those people, but I don't think I'm that
that's not
person.
You.
I don't think so. I think like what becoming a mother has done to me is made me really love moms, like really love mothers. And that's why I do this. Like the newborn babies are a perk, for sure. They're cute, but I don't really feel like I'm the she loves kids person, but I really resonate with just the challenges of being a new mother and want to support her. And so that comes with the kids, and that's fine.
That's a good point. Like, I guess my assumption was like you just loved babies and newborns and that, but you like people forget about mom.
Yeah.
As a husband of a mom, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And a child of a mom.
And a child of a mom.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's in there too.
Yeah.
What should the husbands like? Did this get did like a lot of the concepts you now do for women, for moms, come from husbands' inabilities to do stuff?
No, I get the question, and I don't think so. I think it's really like a massive cultural thing. I think it's on a much bigger scale than that. Like, because
give us some philosophy.
well, there's just a lot of vastly different postpartum traditions in a lot of other parts of the world, and the commonalities between them involve like just a long period of rest for mom, physical, like she's expected to stay in the bed for like the first month or something. And everyone brings her broths and warm foods and like just physically nurtures her. And her expectations of it is basically just feed her baby and lay there. And so there's some version of that. A lot of Asian cultures, African cultures, and ours is okay, get back to work.
Right.
And, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get back to work, look great, don't complain. And I think, and at least the families that we've worked with, for the most part, I mean, I haven't met all of the dads, but I've heard great things if I haven't met them, or I've seen great things if I have met them, and they're very supportive. I think it's mostly just that our society is not set up to provide the postpartum mom with what she needs.
Right.
A husband can help a lot, dad can help a lot, partner can help a lot, but the benefit of a postpartum doula also really benefits the partner as well.
Right.
We hired one after I'd created Bundle and Bliss and hired more postpartum doulas. We hired one when I had my next child, and some of my favorite shifts with our doula were when my husband was still home before he went back to work, because the two of us got to like lay in bed with our baby and enjoy her together while still, being fed and dishes getting done and laundry being folded. So it didn't have to be either I'm doing it or he's doing it for me and not with me. Because of the doula, he got to be with me, and we were kind of enjoying that postpartum bliss together and still feel like we as a family unit were being cared for. So that was really special.
That is nice. What does the schedule look like for you then? Somebody hires you. Mm-hmm. Let's say they have 2 other kids. And how frequent would you come? What are the things that you would do? Like, give us kind of all that.
Yeah, so it can really be tailored to every client. Contracts are really kind of custom made for their needs, but generally speaking, I'd say we go 2 or 3 times a week for most people, and it's typically a 3-hour shift. We won't do shorter than that because we like to be there for at least one feeding so that we can assist with that if needed and make sure feeding is going well. So 3 or 4 hour shift, typically somewhere between like 8 and 1 p.m., some few hours in there. Is when most parents prefer, because maybe siblings are at preschool and that's mom and baby kind of focused time if there are other kids at home. Yeah. We almost always will touch like laundry, dishes. There's just a few basic things we're always scanning for. If there are dishes in the sink, if there's clean dishes in the dishwasher, we'll handle that. If there's laundry that needs to be moved over or a big basket of clean stuff that needs to be folded, we'll handle that. Always checking in with mom, is she hydrated? When did she last eat? What can I bring her to eat now? How's she feeling? And I think one of the most exciting parts of the job is getting to know each new mom and building that individual relationship to get to know her needs and kind of get to the place where you're almost like you're anticipating her needs. Yeah. I know this mom really needs more sleep and loves to get in bed as soon as I arrive and just like needs rest. I know this mom really wants adult conversation and she just wants to sit and like download and verbally process with me and just needs a listening ear and some validation. Yeah. And this mom likes when I can check things off her list and she can see that things have gotten done and that's how she feels loved. And it's fun to kind of get to know what she needs and get to kind of do that even before being asked.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and there's so many different aspects to like having a 1 month old or a 2 month old, I think, especially your very first time. Is it mostly first timers?
Actually, it's probably only about half first time.
Really?
Yeah. Because, and this is, I always really like want to praise the first time moms when they come for this reason, but they don't really know what they're in for yet. So they don't know how much they'll need the help.
Right.
At least half the time we get people that have had 1 or 2 kids already with no postpartum support. And they're like, we don't want it to be the same as it was last time. We need something to be different. So probably at least half of the families that come to us is not their first baby. And they have not had a postpartum doula before, but they're like, something's got to change.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And do they feel like they need to cover up when you're around? Because I imagine some moms being like the naked moms, and then some wanting to be like dressed up when somebody comes over.
For the most part, I hope that we do a good enough job communicating on the front end. Like, please do not feel the need to cover up for us or tidy your house or whatever. Like, I want them to feel the most comfortable and unput on as possible.
Yep. And what about houses? Meaning, I know some people are hoarders. Mm-hmm. Some people are extremely clean. Some people, you probably walk in and you're like, this is a 9,000 square foot house. How am I ever going to like find things in here or clean this? And then some you come in and you're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that needs to happen.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, I've gotten to see some really nice houses. I'll say that. Yeah, nice. For the most part, we find ourselves in houses and I'm just like, wow, this is beautiful. And I'm really liking that. I think, not worked for any hoarders. The closest that we've come to that is a family who, generally not like a specific family, but maybe a family who has been given a bunch of baby gifts that they haven't really opened or sorted through yet. So it's like, here's the room where all the baby gear that we haven't gotten to yet is just like in the boxes. Or a family who it is the first baby and they're not really in a big enough house to accommodate a growing family yet, but this is the house they're in. And so we're trying to cram in. Some people don't realize how much stuff, like the size of the physical stuff that comes with such a tiny person.
Oh, yeah.
But the pack and play, like the swing, the bouncer, if you travel, I mean, it's like
car seats.
It's a significant amount of space. Yeah. So maybe it can get a little crowded, but no hoarders or disgusting people. All lovely. Yeah.
Let's shout out the slobs. So what percentage of your time are you with mom versus, say, the baby? And I guess it is unique to the individual, but
yeah, it's just really varied wildly. There have been some families where I've hardly seen baby at all, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes mom, and some newborns really do sleep a lot. So I've been with families where the newborn was asleep most of the time, and I was more kind of cooking, meal prepping, doing housework. One family hired me where I kind of realized after the fact they were probably more looking for a nanny. I almost exclusively spent my time with their 2-year-old and like hardly ever saw the newborn or the mom. But, it's like, all right, I mean, it was a short-term thing and I'm available for what I'm trained in for you. But I spent a lot of time with the 2-year-olds like, all right, well, if that's what mom needs.
All right.
Yeah.
What are some of the, I guess then that brings up this, like, what are some of the no's, like, that you would just have to be, like, say no to? Like, if I was like, hey, go build this crib, I just.
So the no's include, we won't drive somewhere with your baby, which might sound crazy, but we can like accompany you places with baby. And I've done that before. Like a mom I was with a lot had to, I think she was like returning Tupperware to all the friends that brought her meals and left their Tupperwares with her. And so she brought baby and brought me along to kind of like help soothe baby in the car. And that's fine. We can go out together. Mom can go out while I'm there and leave on her own. Mom can go out to like pick up a sibling from preschool. I can stay with baby, but I won't drive a car with baby in it. And I mean, we do light housework, I say. So ideally, I'm not going to be asked to like scrub toilets or like, take a toothbrush to the ground.
Garage.
Right. And then I guess the biggest thing is just like nothing medical or clinical. So we are non-medical professionals. So we're not going to diagnose anything. We're not going to perform a clinical examination or, anything like that, or like administer medicine. If there's a baby who needs this certain medication every so many hours, and that happens while we're there, we can help mom like get the medicine ready ahead of time so it's measured out, and we can bring baby to mom at that time so that baby gets their medicine, but we're not administering that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay. Running errands, like the grocery store or any of that, you're into that? Okay. Would you say you're a good cook?
I think I'm great at following directions. Okay. I don't know that I'm comfortable enough to like improv something in the kitchen, but if you give me a recipe, I think I can make it.
They're not just like whip me up something. You're like, let me take a look what you have and you just go with it.
Yeah, no, I would need to know like what are my measurements here.
Things?
Yeah.
Okay. Follow up to that, then, what are some of the like good go-to meals that you've created in your time that the listeners just need a little tidbit?
Well, okay. In general, the best things for postpartum women to eat are like warm, nourishing foods, and like broths are really great just because they're so easy to get in, and iron-rich foods. So any kind of like a nice soup with a bone broth would be great. Protein-rich things. I really love to make like egg bites and breakfast burritos that can be frozen. A, because of how nutritionally dense they are, but B, because if you're lucky enough to have friends and family bringing you meals, they're probably bringing you like lasagnas and soups and pastas and dinners, and breakfast really gets overlooked. And especially for the breastfeeding mom who's like ravenous round the clock and probably been up all night feeding a baby, it's so valuable to have easy to grab breakfast things, especially if you can eat it with one hand while you're nursing baby or holding baby. So I think the secret weapon is prepping them some breakfast foods. There's a really great baked oatmeal dish that I like to make too.
What's in that?
It's got oats and almond milk and maybe chia seeds and berries and a little honey or a little pure maple syrup. It's just a little bit sweet. You can add chocolate chips because I like to add chocolate chips to everything. Yep. So the breakfast foods are kind of my secret weapon.
I like that.
But I've had moms be like, here's what I'm planning to serve for dinner tonight. If you could just kind of get a head start by like chopping the veggies for me while you're here, then it will be so much easier for me to throw it in the crock pot later. So I love to just, if there's a dinner plan, how can I just get started on it to take a couple of the steps off your plate later?
And then you go help people all day, manage all these people all day, manage your 5 kids. And then your husband, Jake's like, all right, we're going on date night tonight.
Oh, big Jake. Where are you taking us?
Well,
Jake's got some big things planned.
These days, I'm not doing so much of this. All the stuff that we're talking about that our postpartum doulas do. I'm not really doing that right now because now I've got my other postpartum doulas that I've hired that are doing all that. I'm like answering emails from interested clients. I'm having discovery calls with people that are thinking about hiring us. I'm doing like the accounting stuff. I'm like the admin person now. And date nights, we're having a lot of date nights in these days, just because bedtime is a lot. Now, I have used the Babysitter Collective many times, but when it comes to all of our kids at once, like I've hired like two plus babysitters at a time. And I'll be like, babysitter A, you're going to take these 2 kids to the trampoline park. Babysitter B, you're going to stay home with these 2 kids and maybe walk to the library. Cause it's just a lot. It's too many. It's too many.
That's a lot. What does a date night in look like? I've never been able to successfully do date night ins.
That's because he calls them date nights after that's completed.
No, I call them up front, but they never get like the credit that I want them to get.
Hey, this is date night.
Yeah, do you want to have a date night in the house? Sure. What do you want to do?
As you're going to bed, you say,
watch a movie.
By the way, that was date night.
Well, yeah. I mean, what is it like? How about you?
What do you want to do? I
cook
want to read
dinner
a book
for
by
me.
myself.
Want to do date night? You can cook me my favorite meal.
I mean, we plan to like watch a movie and eat something more exciting than what we typically eat. I don't know. So maybe we order out, or he'll like make us nice steak. It's just the meal is something we get excited about. We have to talk about ahead of time. What do we want to eat? If we're going to call it a date night, it's got to be like good food. And then we try to find something to watch that we're excited about too. I mean, I feel like we watch a lot of TV and movies, but we have very similar taste in that. So it's nice that we
so lucky.
I know.
Rom-coms.
I know.
What? Yeah. What is Jake into rom-coms? Hallmark.
Not really. No.
What's your taste then?
Okay. What do we like watching together? Now I'm gonna like blank on everything.
Because I've got the exact opposite situation where my wife and I could not want to watch more different. I mean, we like some
like
things that
to
are universally good.
Generally, we like to watch kind of the new, whatever's like the prestige TV that the Emmy buzz is about, like the limited series. We actually have a group of friends that come over on Sunday nights and we like watch through some of this sort of, like right now we're finishing Task and we're going to watch Pluribus next, which are two very buzzy shows these days. So it's a lot of darker stuff, but we just like, I don't know, we like
Suspense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would say I like shows that feel very cinematic. Like it feels like you're watching a
the
movie.
production.
We like Breaking Bad was great.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Ozark was great. I'm just naming all these.
Those are dark.
Yes, they
like
are.
Ozark, yeah.
But also when it comes to comedy, we have like the same sense of humor, which is something that we are very lucky about. He had a birthday recently and we watched a just silly, like ridiculous comedy. And one of the friends was like, Lucy, do you think this is funny? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh my gosh, my wife would have walked out 2 minutes into this. Like this, she would not have been into this.
Which one? Do you know? Can you tell us
like-
which
I'll
one?
tell you afterwards. I'll tell you
Okay.
afterwards. But that was,
13-year-old boy humor. That's what it is.
I mean, kind of.
Super bad.
One of the first things we like connected over, even before we started dating, was a mutual favorite movie. We were both like, whoa, and I'll tell you after. But having the same sense of humor has been just such a treat in being married for 12 years. It's like when we want to laugh, it's easy to laugh together.
They're into rated X movies.
No.
Well, so we've been asking lately, what's your favorite swear word?
Oh gosh. I'm a pastor's wife.
That's
I don't
right.
swear very
You can't.
often.
Yeah, you got to.
Do I have a favorite? I don't know. What's your favorites?
I think mine's just an F word. Just a basic.
I don't know. I might have to.
All right. If you think of one, just say it. Just say
It
it
just
randomly.
slips out. Just slip it out accidentally whenever you're
Okay.
ready. Okay.
If I stub my toe, you'll catch it.
All right. So, when you're looking for people to hire, what are some of the traits or characteristics that you're looking for there? And then, is there training? Is there like something that you're going to train them or want them to do? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So for Bundle and Bliss, the training aspect is easy. They have to take a postpartum doula training course, which often is about 24-ish hours worth of content. They can, it can be virtual or in person. It can be in one kind of intense weekend or spread out. There are many different modes that can take, but it's a little over 20 hours of content. I also hire some overnight nannies. So there are some people on my team that aren't postpartum doulas, but they've also taken training to be newborn care specialists. Yeah. And they come from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and they take care of baby all night so that parents can get as much rest as possible. So that's the training piece. And I'd say this is what made expanding from being just me to being other people so hard at first was I've created this thing by myself, and now some people out there are going to get to know my business through only this other person and not me. And kind of losing, total control, going from having 100% control of how you're represented and what you put out into the world to less than 100% control was pretty scary. But I would say I look for people who feel nurturing, who make me feel at ease, people whose presence in your home is going to be like a peaceful, calming one, and people who seem competent.
Yeah. You ask them about SAT scores at all?
No, that's never come up.
Okay. It's a new thing I'm kind of into.
Yeah. Do you ask about that?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I want 1,300 plus.
Yeah.
And I'm not a 1,300 plus guy. But I found that people that have 1,300 plus are great team members.
Yeah. And, maybe a rising tide raises all ships. Is that how it
think
goes?
so, yeah.
So maybe you
I'll
get smarter being around those
I want
1,300
smarter
plus.
people.
Yeah.
And how many males do you hire?
No males have applied.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
You probably wouldn't.
Where'd
be a
Randy's
good fit.
applet? Where'd your...
Yeah, I did send in my
Yeah,
application to you,
weird.
but I think I got
I
rejected.
would love to. I would love to have some male, at least one token male babysitter with the Babysitter
Yeah.
Collective would be great. I know a friend of mine's actually looking for childcare and would really like a male babysitter for her son. So, any guys out there listening to this that really love babysitting?
Send us a DM.
Yeah, let us know.
God, I know. I go back and forth. So I have a rule that no males are allowed to be alone with my kids ever, unless they're blood related. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, but I
don't think you're
feel
crazy.
like it's that would be a normal rule.
Yeah.
But it's a hard rule to apply because you just want your kids to go everywhere
Yeah.
and do everything.
No, I don't think you're crazy, and it's very much to the discretion of the parents. And if we did have a male babysitter in the mix, I might need to kind of add some other
Language.
step to the matching process where maybe the parents initially can opt in or opt out of that being an option. I keep hitting this
Yeah.
thing. And so only the parents who have already said like, yes, we're cool with that, then their jobs are available. Anyways.
Yeah. Or
but I
maybe
know
like
some
a
parents
camera
would
the
like
whole
that.
time, like Big Brother style.
I mean,
Camera would be a nice little touch.
yeah,
Just
but
know
then
everything
that's-
they're saying.
Then who's watching the camera? Is that me or them?
Yeah. Well,
I don't-
you're paying
that's
them to
more work
babysit while
for
you're
me.
watching the camera the whole
Yeah,
time.
right. I finally have some time to myself to go sit in the pedicure chair and just stare at this camera.
Okay, so talk to me more about the night shift peeps. Do they stay awake the whole time? Like, or are they allowed to sleep?
They're allowed to sleep.
Okay.
They're up at least as much as the baby is up. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so as
Doesn't sound like it though, does it?
He's got a 6-month-old. Doesn't know how
Have
often.
you ever met
Yeah.
a child? Well, because as you know, then it's not just that they wake up to eat, but then after they eat, they need to like burp, and then they've probably pooped, and then they're wide awake for a long time. So I think before people have babies, they are aware that I'm going to have to wake up to feed them in the middle of the night, but it's so much more than feeding them. They might be ready to party now at 1:30. And so they're up and handling all of that. And if mom wants to breastfeed, we fully support that. We'll bring baby to breastfeed. And that way, at least mom can breastfeed her baby, but not have to do all the burping, all the rocking, all the changing and all the other stuff. So
Just laying there. I just picture him like laying there in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, the baby's on them.
yeah, we won't even wake
Don't
her
even
up.
wake
We'll
up.
just place baby. Baby will know what to do. But we do require some flat, comfortable surface for our night nannies near baby. It doesn't have to be a guest bed. I mean, a lot of times it is just a nice, comfy couch with a pillow for them to lay down on next to baby. So ideal scenario.
in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideal scenario would be like a guest room with the bassinet or something,
Yeah.
or somewhere to rest in the baby's room if that's where baby is, and they certainly don't have to stay awake if the baby is sound asleep. But they often will also fold some laundry or do some dishes or do some tidying in the kitchen. even though I keep telling them they don't have to do that. And that's not part of the job description.
Just a nice
But
touch.
they just like to do that. I mean, I think it's like the adrenaline maybe of I'm in someone else's house and I've been caring for baby and I've been on and I want to serve and support these people.
Yeah.
It's probably not easy. I mean, it wouldn't be easy for me to like sleep well in that scenario or like on a couch. And they're so sweet. They'll sleep on a couch, but it's probably not great sleep. So I imagine they're probably thinking, well, I might as well just wipe down the counter while I'm here. So they don't get a lot of sleep, but they don't complain about it. They love it.
Yeah. This family's going through it right now with a newborn, and I'm just going to sit here and stare into the abyss and do nothing all day.
If you're
that
not
wouldn't
asleep, right. If you're not asleep, I can't imagine. They're not going to just sit there and be like, wow, that sink's really full of dishes, huh? That's going to be tough for them tomorrow. Twiddle their thumbs. I mean, no, they love to stay busy.
All right. What are there any rules on crying at night? Like, say the sesh is, I was in a grinder the other night, 4 hours. What do you?
4 hours of crying?
It was on and off. Like
Ouch.
I kind of fell asleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
But what do you like? Are the rules where it's like, all right, you got to get mom at X amount of time, or I guess then
Not
mom.
for us. I mean, we don't have those rules. Yeah. That's probably just a night nanny and mom conversation. They'll have a conversation at the beginning of working together about preferences like that because sometimes, some moms might want you to come wake me up every 4 hours on the dot to feed the baby. And some moms might be like, if they wake up and seem to need me, you can come get me, but you don't need to, it doesn't need to be any certain time or whatever.
Yeah.
And they talk through preferences about like, how would you like me to wake you? I mean, like just place baby on you, or would you want to tap? Do you want a soft knock? So they'll arrange the whole, how exactly will this work for you? And where will partner be sleeping? Is he going to be freaked out if I'm suddenly my shadow is walking up to the bed? Sometimes they, I don't know how they do all that. I don't do the overnights. I'm not built for that.
How's your sleep?
It's
Are you a
okay.
good sleeper?
Yeah, we're okay. I am also a certified pediatric sleep consultant. So
Really?
I do a lot of work with baby sleep. So our sleep is okay.
Like coach the parents on what to do.
Yeah.
To give us a couple tips. Threw it out there.
Well, these seem kind of obvious to me, but maybe they're not to everybody, but making sure baby is really well fed and not too hungry heading into the night. Gets adequate stimulation during the day, like sees the sunlight, gets some fresh air, gets some activity, moves their body, gets good stimulating awake time, and being mindful of how long we're keeping baby awake so that they just don't get like strung out, overtired, hyper, crazy.
Yeah.
So just kind of keeping a loose handle on kind of our rhythms throughout the day. And when it comes to really little babies, I like to use words like rhythms and routines more than schedules because it's just, kind of silly to talk about putting a little baby on a schedule, but more of just a loose rhythm that we can kind of flex with and roll with. And when it comes to my sleep training or sleep coaching clients, I'm big on the whole point of this is so that your family feels well rested and feels better.
Yeah.
And the point is not to be conforming to someone else's expectations or standards of how things should be. The point is just so that this is working better for you. So it's very, again, kind of custom, and as long as this is improving something for you, then that's worth trying, but not just because some random talking head on Instagram said you should be doing X or Y.
Right. I like nighttime routines too. I think that's a good
Yeah,
way
a
to do
good bedtime routine is great to like signal to baby that it's that time for sleep is coming. Bedtime routines are really helpful because from a super young age, I mean, even before they can like cognitively put the pieces together of, oh, I'm hearing this lullaby, that means I've got to fall asleep soon. It's still habit forming. There are still some really powerful habit forming pieces to consistent routine. Like whatever you might do at bedtime, whether it's we put pajamas on and then we read this book in this chair and then I hum this tune. Humming a little tune is another tip because
Humming a little tune
the,
is nice.
the audio just connection piece there is a strong one with forming habits. So if they hear the same little lullaby every night, it can kind of physically really relax them and prepare them for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes my kids who are 11 and 8 now will bring their old book out that I read them every single night for 5 years, and they'll want to read it, and then like it'll disappear for 2 years, and then they'll bring it out again.
That's sweet.
But I think you remember, you don't remember it, but I think the idea of what it was like, they remember.
Yeah. I feel like their body knows even before they can sort of cognitively be aware. Like something recognizes it.
Do you guys give any recommendations on like bottles to use? Like we just realized the nipple was wrong
Yeah.
because it wasn't coming out as fast, and that was a game changer. Sleep suits.
Oh, my kids used to have they would have to have the biggest opening on the
Yeah.
They would just mow down.
Yeah. I do love to talk about like swaddles and stuff like that. As far as, I mean, having the right size nipple is probably about as far as I'd feel comfortable with us going before referring to like a lactation specialist, because there are so many different shapes of them too, shapes of bottle nipples and stuff, and it's some of them are just like really unhelpful for developing good oral function because of the shape they are. But then it's like, why is this on the market and available?
They're made by pharmaceutical companies.
Well,
That's the problem.
Right.
Some of the pumps too are made by pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
I got $1 billion idea for that, which is molding the woman's nip.
I love that idea.
Why aren't we doing that? And then
I don't know.
No brainer.
You could make one quick and throw it on the bottle.
Wow.
And if Dad wants to do some of that,
Dad's nip, just
right? There's a big. Did you guys ever try that where when you're trying to wean the baby sucks on Dad's nipples,
No.
and then I just heard someone just told me that they were doing that a while ago, maybe a year ago. And it was
To just really turn the baby off a bit.
Yeah, it was like they still get like the soothing feeling, but nothing comes out, so it makes them want it
I've
less.
never heard that. This is enlightening.
It's
wild.
Well, we were talking and the discussion was why men have nipples. You know, what I mean?
Okay.
Like, what do we have?
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
And it might be for the weaning process. That was the only way we came up with.
It's taken me 5 children to
think
first
about Jake's nips.
think
being
that
useful.
might be why he's got them. Huh.
Yeah. You never looked at his nips and said, "This is probably here's what we need to use."
There's a
these
use
for
for those.
I've never thought.
You were like,
I've
these
never
are just
thought
so unuseful.
that. So,
I can't. But the thought of it,
Those
I
are
couldn't
there.
even. I couldn't even do it because by the time they're weaning, they kind of have teeth. Like the first
Yeah.
time a kid bit me hard on the they haven't. But if they did bite me on the nipple, I would just see red. I think.
it's pretty painful.
How did you have some that were like biters?
Well, not really once they have teeth. But even when they don't have
gummies.
teeth, the gums,
They
the
just get
toothless
pissed.
gums can like clamp. They can they can chomp even without teeth. And so I've been chomped a couple times, and it's awful. But you just
said your
got to keep
favorite swear
going.
word. You whispered your favorite swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how about push presents? Do you
Okay.
advise husbands on that in that first 0 to 3 month world?
I have not yet been asked
Have you
to
seen any
advise
good
on
ones?
that. I mean, I've seen some
Extravagant
shiny
ones
jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. That's
don't
the
know what a
husband giving the wife a present.
for
Yeah.
pushing out a baby.
Yeah.
You've never
You
clearly
just-
Allison's gotten none of those.
No, I'm
Yeah. I mean,
not even. Didn't even consider it.
You actually bought something.
I got something nice for myself.
could be, it's never too late. 11 and 8 years later.
Right.
Say, hey, honey.
Hey, I have
Forgot to
something.
give this to you.
Remember when you pushed out that?
Right. Remember when you did this?
Mainly
I'm a
jewelry.
big fan of a push present. I think it's mainly been jewelry that I've seen or that I would want.
What if Bundle and Bliss was the push present?
We have been like baby shower gift. We have been.
That's nice.
Yeah. You can.
Brilliant.
You can get gift
Get on
certificates.
the registry, yeah.
Yes, you can get gift certificates for our services on our website, and we've had a lot of people gift that to a sister, a sister-in-law, a friend.
Yeah.
We've had groups of a group of girls go in together to get some overnight support for a friend of theirs. So yeah, we're a great gift.
Do you guys do overnight for the beyond 3-month world?
Not typically.
Okay.
It has happened. And that was kind of a unique scenario where baby was like a little premature and had some health issues, and it wasn't like a typically developing older baby.
Yeah.
So we won't typically do that.
Okay.
But
Well,
maybe
somebody could
one of
throw
our
it at you.
babysitters would,
Yeah.
and now we've got them. Yeah.
All right. How big is your team right now for both?
Bundle and Bliss, there are 7 of us.
Okay.
Aside from me, we have, I think, 3 postpartum doulas that do daytime and 3 overnight nannies.
All right. Nice.
And then with the Babysitter Collective, our number of babysitters right now hovers between like 20 and 25. I'm working on bulking up our like here for the holidays and the summers group because it's a lot of college students or grad students, or we don't have as many of that number that are sticking it out in Columbia all year long. But we made it through the summer pretty well. We had a really busy like July, as you can imagine, with kids out of school and different activities and going to the pool and stuff. But so I'm hiring again now for people that are going to be here throughout the holidays. And actually, to that end, there are plenty of like Columbia natives that are off elsewhere for college that come home for the holidays.
Yeah.
And I've got some of them on my team too that are at other schools right now, but making their way back. So, yeah.
So I'm curious then about the business lessons that you've learned through this whole thing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like,
sounds like us.
I've just
15 years
constantly bewildered that things are working and I'm kind of stumbling ahead. So it would be great if one day I knew what business lessons I've learned. But I've just been kind of putting one foot in front of the other and really, truly felt like I don't know what I'm doing all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Working.
going with it. Yeah.
Is there been any issues like no shows or things like that where you're like, or do you have to have any insurance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now, I have insurance, and I'm like everyone on my team has to have their own insurance right now.
Okay.
And I guess with the Babysitter Collective, because that's the newer one, there still is the occasional kind of hiccup with the platform itself. That all happens online. Like our members sign up and they create their profile and they post jobs on our dashboard, and our sitters get notifications about the jobs and they can claim the ones they want, and then they're matched, and then the sitters get in touch with the parents. But if there's ever like, I don't know, a last minute cancellation or like a last minute job posting and we've got to rush to try to fill it, or a sitter gets sick, there's just little, when the little snafus happen and me trying to figure out the smoothest way to handle stuff like that. Any sort of like tech related thing will kind of trip me up. That's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I feel like I do great on a call with someone. We're chatting for the first time about what we offer and how we can help you. Like those go great. But like, you need to fix this functionality on the website I just start seeing stars but it's still just me. I'm the one who has to figure that out. And that's the hardest part so far.
Yep.
So with the Babysitter Collective then, how does the pricing work? Because I know that's going to be something that everybody asks.
Yeah.
And even as I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I would design it, you would want some level of control over the pricing, but probably it's dynamic. It's changing.
So we have 3 different levels of membership, basic, plus, and premium. It starts at $29.99 a month, and that's for 3 sits a month. And then the plus level is you can book up to 10 sits a month, and then premium is unlimited. If you have any level of membership of the plus or the basic, you can always book more for like a $10 booking fee. But it just depends on how often, it comes to the point where if you have basic and you're paying for extra shifts multiple times a month, you'd be better off just upgrading your
see.
membership. So they're paying for access to the roster essentially, and for someone else to have done all the vetting for them.
Got it.
The membership grants them the access. The sitters have all passed background checks and gotten their CPR certification and been interviewed face-to-face and submitted their resume and their references. So it just kind of takes out a lot of the uncertainty, the question mark of who will I find, where will I find them, can I count on them? Yeah.
And then you negotiate directly with the sitter.
Oh, no, actually, yeah, the other piece of the pricing, I have set the hourly rates across the board. So all the families know what they are. All the sitters know what they are. There's no negotiating. I mean, tipping is encouraged, but there's never what's your rate conversation.
That's awesome.
It's very transparent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet. What is a good price for people to pay babysitters in general? Like your platform, but just in general, is there? Have you come across rules where it's like one kid this age?
No, I haven't come across rules, but before I set our rates, I did poll. I did some crowdsourcing on Instagram before like fully launching this. I mean, way before launching it, really, like when it was just Bundle and Bliss, and I knew people would be interested in something like this, but I just was crowdsourcing, like, what do you want? What are you looking for? What are your biggest obstacles? And so I kind of based it off of what my followers and my families that already know me said they would be willing to pay, what felt appropriate. I personally think it's, and I'm the one who set the rates, I feel like in this economy, it's a little bit low now, and I probably plan to raise them, the sitter hourly rates, in the next year. We're starting at $16 an hour for one child, and it goes up kind of incrementally for added kids. I think in order to secure great babysitters that are experienced and you want to see coming to your house again and again and again, I feel like it's got to be a little higher than that now. So it's worked well for us this last year. I'm ready to tweak that a little bit.
All right.
I mean, that's a great gig for babysitters too. Like even as my daughter's getting older and she's going to want to babysit, sometimes you literally just sit there and watch TV while everybody else sleeps.
Oh, like after bedtime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
or
a
you
great
play
gig.
fun games.
Yeah. Or they're on their phone texting or they're doing homework.
Yeah. Our babysitters hopefully will, while the kids are awake, hopefully not be texting their friends and just watching TV.
Yeah.
But certainly if it's put the kids to bed at 7 or 8 and we'll be back at 10:30, then I would say make sure you're leaving the house at least as nice as you found it. But then after that, you just chill out and relax. I mean, our babysitters get, here's the remote, here's our Wi-Fi password. And once you've done what you need to do with the kids, just make yourself at home.
It's a crossword.
Here's our snacks. Yeah.
Enjoy yourself with a little Sudoku.
Yeah.
But dishes, like things like dishes, sweeping, cleaning. I mean, I know I'm going to tell my daughter, like, you don't just sit there and do nothing all day long. Like they're paying you, go do it.
Yes. I've told all of our sitters, I haven't said it like it's a hard line, like you should be doing these things every time. But certainly if you find yourself with nothing to do, and especially with the younger kids, playing with young kids is messy. Like you're dumping out the blocks. There's Legos all over the floor, or we're getting into the costume. It's just like, to have fun with a small child means to create a mess. And so please don't leave it that way.
And they're peeing everywhere, pooping all the time.
Yeah, everywhere, all the time, everywhere.
All over the bathroom.
What I have had, and I appreciate that at least when we started, all of our first families with the Babysitter Collective were people that I already had a relationship with. They were kind of my beta testers. So I got some feedback, and I've heard when a sitter, mom came home and it seemed like things went great and daughter was really happy. The house was a mess, but I guess that's a good sign. And then that was a key for me to be more explicit about the expectations for how you leave the house, so.
Yep. All right. How often are you doing meetings with these cats?
That's a good question. So with Bundle and Bliss, we get together, I don't know, probably like, we used to do kind of monthly Zoom meetings, and we would go over like who our clients are, who's assigned to who's coming up. And then I like had a baby, and then I had another baby, and those have kind of fallen. Now it's like maybe 2 or 3 times a year we get together. But we, the last couple things we've done, we met at a coffee shop. We started doing some things like not even a work meeting, but just an optional kind of team get together, which everyone really likes to opt into, and I appreciate, because then our work is already so relational that we like to talk with each other about what we're doing and hear about that. So, and we just had our annual holiday dinner. That's like the one thing that will definitely always happen at around the same time, is I just take the whole team out to a nice dinner, and we did a little gift exchange, and I could express my thanks, and we could share funny stories. And so I try to see them maybe quarterly would be nice to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
It's different with the Babysitter Collective because they're just kind of like little free agents all over the city.
Yeah.
And we've got a group text, and that's kind of about it. I've been trying to brainstorm what that could look like for them. Some sort of, I don't know, morale boosting team thing. And I haven't quite landed on something yet, because even the sitters themselves, there's such a wide range of like ages and career and schedule. But if you have any ideas on like a nice unifying, I don't know.
I'll get in the lab and think about something.
Well, it's a hard dynamic, because the bigger you get, the more complex it gets.
Yeah.
The more different people are. And then you run the risk of putting a ton of time and energy into something, and it doesn't only not bring them closer together, but it almost like causes a problem.
I think my version of it for the Babysitter Collective is like every now and then I put out a call for a few sitters to come and join me to just shoot some content, like film some video for us to make some reels or whatever. And that ends up, it's like, well, there's just a few sitters here with me. So I get FaceTime with them, and they get to meet each other, and they're playing with my kids. And that's been the best way for me to get to know our sitters, is like being around them with my kids, even more so than just our initial interview. So maybe it's just...
what about any tips or tricks that you've learned over the years dealing with babies or kids? Like you're just in the grinder and you're like, oh, this worked on maybe burping them, or...
I've recently become a really, really big fan of just sitting babies upright to burp them, not the
over the shoulder.
Amateur, not the over the shoulder. I used to really go a little too hard on the padding. Yeah, and they were just, all my kids have been spitters, just prolific spitters, and happy about it too. So no health issues there. They're just great at spitting. But I was really going at the back and thought that's what I was supposed to do. And my baby now is a great burper, thankfully, but I just have to sit her upright. But even when they're little, you can sit them upright and just hold their little chin right here. Yeah. And it kind of looks like you're choking them, but you're not. Just hold their chin up and kind of ease it. You can even just rub their back, kind of like I've come into a much more subtle burping technique, and I'm happy with that. Also, side-lying paste bottle feeding is a tip for little babies, to lie them in your lap on their side if you're giving them a bottle. And then you hold the bottle horizontally, and that way they can control the flow of milk much better. It's not just being like poured down their throat. Yeah. And if they happen to get a little too much in their mouth, it's just in their cheek. It's not like, So those are two of my little export tips. Yeah, nice. Not waterboarding the baby. And in general, just try not to make any major life decisions within the first 6 months of having a baby, because it probably just...
I agree with that.
Yeah, just the timing of that. You don't need to do that.
Do you guys do any massaging of the moms? Like, is there touching?
We don't do a lot. We do infant massage. And it's funny. I've thought about that recently. I might want to start offering some sort of light massage as just a general, add it to the list of like, would you like this today? Could I do this for you? Could I do that for you? But I'd have to think about it a little more and think about like, do I want my people to have some kind of training. I would think so, even if it's not like an expensive, major certification, but just a little bit of a training on here's how we're going to touch them. If we're going to offer to massage them, here's how we will and here's how we won't. So I would probably want it to be a little bit, streamlined, but I love that idea. But we do some infant massage primarily to help with gassiness. Yeah. That's something we see a lot of is like really gassy, uncomfortable babies.
Have you been asked to do any like hair and makeup or anything like that?
No, I haven't. Okay. Yeah.
Two more for me. Rules on photos or videos. Do you guys allow that? Or I don't know if it's something that you have to like discuss so that people aren't posting kids?
It's a question we have on an intake form. I think they have a couple options for the question is like, do you consent to us sharing images of your child? They can either say yes, they can say yes, but with no identifying information, like don't make it super obvious that that's my child, or no. And plenty of families choose no, and that's not an issue at all. And honestly, even if they say yes, I still like to, before we record a video or something, just ask again, is this okay? So we make sure, if you see a baby's face on our Instagram, it's okay.
It's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah. And then, so you said that on the membership, the babysitters get to see the family opportunities. Does the families get to choose the babysitters or look at their profiles at all?
They can look at their profile. So the way we're set up now is that it's kind of first come, first serve for the babysitters to take a job. And once they've accepted your job, you can then view their profile. And you can see their picture, their resume, their little blurb they've typed to introduce themselves to you. I've not yet had a family reach out and be like, I don't like this. Right. Yeah. What they can do, though, is after they've had a sitter work for them, we've got an option for them to click do not match again if they didn't like the sitter. And that's happened a few times. But again, I've not heard that anything like inappropriate happened. Right. It was just, you're not just going to be a perfect match with everybody, There's also an option to mark a sitter as a favorite, which has happened more often than the do not match. Yeah. And what that means is, so the way that we're set up, like I mentioned, first come, first serve, when a family posts a job, all sitters get like a text and an email immediately saying a new job has just been posted, log in to check it out. If you're on someone's favorites list, you get that notification 3 hours before anyone else gets that notification. So it's almost the same as the family requesting you. If they put you on their favorites list, then there's a really good chance you'll get to take their future jobs unless you're just not available.
Yep. I guess with that, where I was wondering is like, does religion or politics become a thing? Like where, I don't know, say you're Christian and you want a Christian babysitter versus
I don't think
Muslim
so. It's not been a thing that I'm aware of. No.
All right. Yeah, the reason I was thinking of that is we had an au pair for a while, and like these were things that when we were looking, I didn't even think of stuff like that, where it was like, oh, they're coming from another country, could have completely different beliefs and or thinking, and if they're around your kid,
what are they indoctrinating my child with?
Yes, and that was something I was like, oh, that's probably something to think about. In that instance, like they're going to live with you, so it was a bigger deal.
Right.
Like I couldn't say no after that.
Yeah.
My last question is for just advice in general. You've had 5 kids now. Mm-hmm. What's your like number one parenting tip? And then you've been married for 12 years through 5 kids. Mm-hmm. What's your relationship tip?
Whoa. I guess my number one, this isn't so much a parenting tip as it is more like surviving being a parent. Because I still, as you know, I feel like an expert in babies now. But our oldest is always a new age that we have no experience with before. So parenting, it's like another realm in which I always feel like I have no idea what I'm doing because I've never done that before. And the babies get easier and easier because I've done that before. But for the mom who feels like she has lost her sense of self and doesn't know who she is anymore and her life has turned upside down, I would say it's totally okay and normal to feel like you've lost yourself, and you can find your way back. And you might be a little bit different now, but a better version to just sort of find and rediscover. And it takes time, and it's okay. And you will eventually feel like yourself again, or a version of yourself that you recognize at least, but it takes time. And for relationship, I mean, I think laughing together is just so important. And like, find somebody that makes you laugh, and try not to take yourself too seriously, and be willing to admit you're wrong and forgive freely a lot.
Whoa.
Boom. Randy hasn't
good.
been wrong in how many years you been married?
So 16 years since my last time.
He's got a streak.
So
going
over
right
16 years since you were wrong about something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, since I was right about something. All right, this has been great. Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
having
So how
me,
can
guys.
people support you? How do you want them to reach out?
So we're on Instagram at Bundle and Bliss Cola and at the Babysitter Collective. Those are also both of the websites if you want to check out, see kind of the whole business offerings, bundleandblisscola.com and the Babysitter Collective.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.
Just a quick note, this podcast is for informational purposes only. We're not meant to replace your doctors, and nothing here should be taken as medical advice. Always check with a qualified professional before making decisions about your health. The views and opinions expressed by our guests or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of this podcast. Reliance on any information provided is solely at your own risk.